So today we are going to hear a story about a king, that how he became the king. Here we go. Chakrata region in Tala range of Bandhavgarh National Park, Madhya Pradesh is a richly diverse area with a prominent hillocks. During 1991, it was ruled by a very prominent masculine dominant male, Banka. Banka in local language means handsome one, Banka Jawan kind of. He was really a very handsome male tiger. And on this particular dusk of summer 1991, Banka was patrolling his territory with deep throated calling, displaying his might. And while Baka was prowling along the Amanala road, suddenly a series of resounding roars from up the hill jolted the jungle. Baka stopped dead in his tracks and immediately looked up, all strained up, ears turned forward. He faced a hilly slope trying to understand from where this sound is coming, and his ears picked up the sound of fast approaching footsteps. Whatever it was now headed straight towards him, churning the dry leaves scattered on the ground. Occasional short, hideous growls followed by the footsteps. He instinctively knew that he has an opponent now. The resident tiger, Banka, accepted the challenge. Replying went to a full-throated roar. His roar was answered by a quickened movement of the oncoming stranger. The stranger's walk turned into jog and finally into a full-intensity gulp. Emerging through the cover of the bamboo bushes was a vicious-looking tiger in his youthful prime, with mane like long hair fringing his face. Without any warning, the behemoth pounced on the Banka like a thundering storm. The collision sent both of them rolling down to the ground. The next moment, the young male was towering over Banka, frantically trying to get his teeth into his opponent's skull and neck. Saliva dripping down his wildly open jaws, Banka roared in defiance and ragged the body of his rival with his full stretched paws. The roar of the battling tigers sent tremors through the forest. The echo was to be heard by every creature in the far vicinity, and for the moment it felt like the war-driven days of Maharajas has come back to the life in Bandhavgarh. Soon the ferocity, youth, and the indescribable anger of this young tiger took better of Banka. He gave up and disengaged himself from deadly grip of this rival. Bleeding profusely, Banka left the battlefield and tottered away from the onslaught. The final heart-rending roar from the young male announced the crowning of the new king of Tala zone. The next early morning, sunrise brought in a new day. The safari jeeps lined up at the Tala gate to have their first sightings. The first jeep to enter the park, carrying a party of jungle trackers, was driven by the driver who, as they approached the turn, they could see a vicious tiger lying down beside the jungle road, forest road, licking his bleeding gashes and growling at the intervals. They had unknowingly come very near to the new tiger, following the overnight pug marks of the older tiger, Banka. The furious tiger raised his head and intensely stiffened his body as the posture of uncomfortable aggression. He swiftly prepared himself for a charge. He growled and scratched the earth with his claws in anger, clearly hinting them to stay away. As the jeeps stopped near the tiger, he jumped up, rushed towards the jeep, roaring menacingly. His momentum almost made him to collide with the jeep, the vehicle, and it was just a mock attack for him, but he made his intentions very clear. The turn of the event was so spontaneous that the occupants of the jeep were frozen dead in fear, along with a shrill cry. Fortunately, the tiger wheeled back abruptly and went off into the forest. The jeep got back to the camp, and due to the misunderstanding, the word was spread that Banka has gone mad. Banka baur aa gaya hai. See, the thing is that Banka had been a tiger of a different temperament. His behavior has been never like this. So seeing The tiger like this, everyone thought that this is Banka and he has gone thoda sa like that. So sighting of a Banka-like tiger near villages away from his territory added to the confusion, because that particular tiger was not Banka, it was new tiger, and real Banka was sighted somewhere else away. So this added to the confusion. So then, at that time, the rangers would use elephant. Even now, they use the elephants to patrol the area and to understand the condition. So Kuttappan, the head mahout, the person who drives the elephant, decided to solve the mystery. Riding over his huge tusker, Gautam, हाथी का नाम था Gautam. He entered the high grass behind the Gopalpur pond looking for Banka. Within a moment, he heard a distinct loud growl from his right, and next moment, a thundering striped fury shot out from the grass and charged at the elephant Gautam. Kuttappan somehow managed to steer the elephant away from the grassland. He rushed out of forest, perspiring profusely, and declared that a very dangerous, short-tempered new tiger has arrived in the forest. They named him Tiger, and thus the legendary tiger came to be known by this name, Charger. He would charge at the coming vehicles or whoever comes. He was a very aggressive one. The origin of Charger is not clearly known. The park rangers consider him to be from the different part of the park and from the tiger reserve, and he made his appearance in the summers of 1991 when he defeated Banka and claimed his territory in Tala zone. His tenure as the overlord of Tala, as a king of Tala, stretched almost a decade from 1991 to 1999. It is extraordinary as the lifespan of the tigers is only 12 to 15 years max to max. He was in his prime even during his last days. His ferocity made him an international legend, and even today, years after his passing, his story drifts along the folklore of park rangers and wildlife enthusiasts. He even has his, place where he's buried, samadhi kind of thing, and Charger Point it is called. And whenever people go there, they can visit this particular place. And may his memories live long. And next story I will tell you tomorrow regarding his love life. Here we go. Have a great week ahead.